All right. Hi, Cancer. Welcome to another zodiac sign reading. You don't have to be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. These readings are meant to be used more intuitively. Now, what I do recommend is working with your Cancer placements. So if you have the moon in a particular chart in your house, take a look at that. If there's transits of the moon taking place right now, take a look at those. And also the Cancer house in your chart and the significance of that. So that's how I would recommend working with the archetype of this Cancerian energy in this horoscope style energetic reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's go ahead and see what's coming through. So I've just been kind of intuitively guided to do the different zodiac signs. And usually what's happening so far, since I've been called to come back to zodiac sign readings after so many years of not doing them, is I'll wake up in the morning and I'll just start hearing the word in my head. So this morning I woke up and I just kept hearing Cancer, 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 and I was seeing crabs. So this is the time and the place for this message to come through to you, Cancerian soul babies. It's funny that I just used the word babies because Cancer's the archetype of the mother. And you have here the 10 of Cups. Wow. That's this beautiful home energy. I was also talking about bumblebees with a member this morning. And I've got my bumblebee tattoo there. So there could be something about homemaking or production, but through home, through family, through connection. It's like, that hive of bees working on building the hive and creating security so that the next generation can thrive and prosper, and doing this kind of like building work to make sure that there is security there. We have the 9 of Pentacles as well, really emphasizing the level of this security. And the 7 of Swords reversed. Okay, well, that's nice. I like to see the 7 of Swords reversed because what this is telling me is that the truth is being realized. So something that was in some way preventing, and I'm hearing the word escalation. And I'm seeing the scene in Anchorman when they're like, boy, that escalated quickly. Something escalates quickly here, but I'm also now seeing an escalator. So I feel like there's an elevation, and I can't quite tell yet if it's good or bad. Well, from the cards, it looks very good, but energetically, I tend to read more intuitively than practically. 10 of Swords. Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of like a mixed bag. It's a bit of both. Like it escalates quickly, so that you can remove yourself from that equation and you can take your time building something that is much more aligned with you. I feel like there was something that you were investing your energy in, or that was cluttering up your mental space, that was not constructive to what it is that you're building here in terms of this level of security financially, physically, within the home, within this sense of community or family, and the emotional satisfaction or fulfillment that brings. And I'm hearing the honeys of life and the sweetness of life. So you're meant to overcome something that feels like it was getting to a boiling point, or if something was coming to a head, I'm hearing. And I'm seeing head chakras, so like third eye, crown chakra. Look to those areas. There could be something significant that's been going on there that's going to help you to put this in perspective. Or this could be about putting something in perspective so that you're not mentally seeing it through a distorted lens. And I'm hearing coming up short, and then we have this King of Pentacles, and right away I'm seeing a very short man. It's kind of giving me like Lord Farquaad energy from Shrek. Like Napoleon syndrome. He's very short, and so he overcompensates in other areas egoically. I don't know who this is for you, but I feel like this person or this energy itself was kind of messing with your mind. It was meth? I didn't mean to say meth. Okay. Yeah, it was really messing with your head, because that just reminded me, like that little slip of the tongue, which is always intentional in readings. It's like these little Freudian slips, as they say. It's reminding me of when I was in neuroscience, and I did this entire class that was dedicated to drug pathology. And so we looked at the brain and how it responds to different types of drugs. And the one that really stood out to me was meth, because I was so blown away by the fact that many of these other drugs, they cause damage to the brain, from caffeine to alcohol to cocaine and things like that. They do cause a lot of damage to the brain and the neuroconnections. Now, there's a reason this is coming up, so bear with me. But when it came to meth, that damage was irreversible. And it was extremely, extremely destructive. And that's why it's one of those most addictive and most catastrophic of energies. Now, I'm not saying that there's some kind of literal addiction here, but it feels like there was something in the mind that was doing this level of damage. And I feel a strong sense of recovery here. And it's like the household is recovering, or your sense of security in the household is recovering, or what you are able or capable of doing feels like you have a larger capacity. Maybe it's a larger emotional capacity to manage things, or maybe you feel like you have more financial stability and that allows you to open up to new things coming in. So there's this masculine energy that is quite massive despite the fact that it is small. It's very minuscule. It's tiny. And this feels like an oxymoron, right? Like huge shrimp or jumbo shrimp. It's like, yeah, because the energy itself was small or felt perhaps insecure, but that blew things up way past the proportion of the influence itself. Does that make sense? Two of Cups on the bottom. This could have been a relationship that you were in, or an emotional dynamic that you have. And I'm weirdly hearing the word stranger, an emotional dynamic that you have either with a stranger, or that feels like this emotional dynamic feels like a stranger to you, but it lives rent-free in your head. Okay, so what I'm taking from this Cancer is that there's something that needs to be removed. There's a decluttering, an energetic debris that was kind of scattered in your mind and was taking up space. Now I'm seeing mushrooms, and it's kind of like they can proliferate very quickly in the dark. If they're left to their own devices, mushrooms grow very fast and very like scattered. The fungi or the spores scatter and then they grow very quickly. So there's something in the mind that maybe was kind of like put there. Maybe it was somebody else who said something and it just kind of set you off, or it was an idea that you've had there for a long time, but for some reason it was getting fed. And as that energy was getting fed, weirdly, not necessarily by your focus, but by your avoidance of it. You know how they say energy goes, or what is it? Yeah, energy goes where focus goes or something, or energy flows where focus goes. Yeah, I think that's the saying. It feels like the opposite of that in this case. It's like the more you avoided something, the more you tried to repress it or to look the other way, the worse it became. Now, this is weirdly, it feels like a blessing in disguise. And I was hesitant to even use that phrasing because it's not always the best, right? But there's something here about that's actually very true. It was a blessing in disguise because as this thing was made bigger, I'm hearing more grandiose. Maybe there's somebody with like a grandiose personality disorder. I don't know what that even would be like, I guess narcissism, but I don't want to throw out pop psychology terms that are often misrepresented or misused. But it felt like maybe a level of selfishness, and we all have this, by the way. This is like how the ego is hardwired, and we have to consciously, with effort, deprogram that. But there's something here about like this sort of megalomaniac type energy that just wants to control everything, and that control, that need for it is coming from this deep well of insecurity. I just heard trauma threshold. Okay, so we're getting real in this reading today. Something about a reel I just saw as well. I think those are like shorts on Instagram. I don't know. I don't have Instagram anymore. But back when I did, I'm pretty sure they were called reels. So it's like you're getting realizing something here so that it doesn't continue to cycle in your life. So the way that this blessing shows up as disguised as a problem is that it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you're forced to manage it, until you're forced to deal with it. Now, the managing word just stuck out to me. So like when I use that word, my intuition went ding, ding, ding. There's something important there. Pay attention to it and talk about it. And the manager of the brain is the executive function system. This is like our prefrontal cortex that allows us to make complex decisions, to use a combination of rationality and intuition, to be able to handle some of these lower limbic level or old, the reptilian brain level of thinking that are much more survival based and much more emotionally drenched and heavy. So I'm seeing you being able to use this higher cognitive thinking to address something here that was sitting in the background, proliferating of its own accord, that you really don't want to have living in your brain. Like, you don't want that energy or that thought, that idea, that belief sitting there, because it just kind of like trashes up the place. I'm seeing somebody, this is actually quite comical, but it's very kind of serious at the same time, but it's like this, I'm seeing this person sitting in your mind, and they're sitting on a throne that they've appointed themselves with, and it's like painted in fake gold, and they're just eating and eating and eating and making a mess everywhere and like throwing stuff all over the place, and there's just garbage piling up. And it's starting to get like stinkier and stinkier. So it's a good thing, because it's like you have to face the problem once it gets bad enough. But the downside to that is that once it's gotten to that point, it's like, oh my God, there's so much work to do. However, I feel like you are willing to handle whatever this is that you need to address. I feel like it's finally time. Like, this level of willingness of the spirit is fully on board. And so your ego is like, okay, let's cash in on this change. Let's do something different. Let's not allow this to take up space in our mind anymore. And I'm hearing never again, never again. So this person's energy has got to go. This idea, thought, or belief, whatever it is, has got to go. And you've designed it that way so that it can't come back. And if it does, you're going to recognize it so freaking fast that it's going to be ejected. Like, freaking pull the eject thing, and this freaking seat that that this guy is on is just launched out of your brain. Very visual, very comic style message that's coming through for you, Cancer. So maybe having a little bit of a sense of humor about this can be helpful in decreasing some of the severity of the experience itself, or how it feels to you, because you're meant to be in this beautiful 10 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles energy. These are so stable, so secure, self-sufficient, and interdependent, community-oriented. It's a wonderful balance of both, and both of them speak of prosperity in different areas of life. So I'm hearing combined. Okay, so it's actually two areas combined: emotional and financial stability. Okay, we have the Moon card here. Something about subconscious reprogramming is coming up, and this is your energy, Cancer. This is the sign that rules you, or the planetary body that rules you, the Moon. And so there's something here of your energy kind of like working against itself. Now, it's not quite self-sabotage. Well, no, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is a bit of self-sabotage here. But I don't feel like you're afraid of that anymore. I think maybe there was a certain time and a space where you would have avoided this, where you did avoid this. But now you're like, okay, it's making too many ripples here up on the surface. So I've got to dive down and figure out what's going on down there. Because it's, like now I'm seeing, in wave pools, how they have those little things that push water, and that creates the waves on the surface of the water. It's like there's something underneath that's been pushing like this. It's that little person sitting in the brain with this megalomaniac vibe. And it's like they've been pushing energy down here, and then it's causing these ripple effects up above. So you're finally able to go into the subconscious, maybe doing some reprogramming. I just heard the word hyper-realism. Hyper-realism. I'm not sure what that's talking about, or how the context. I would have to look it up and see what that actually means, and to be able to fit it into the context of this reading. But it feels, because what I'm being shown is like doing hypnosis. It's like going into the subconscious mind intentionally, reprogramming, or seeing what's there so that you can kick that energy out. And it feels a lot more intentional, I think, than you've ever been before. 7 of Wands. Yeah, this is that you can't come in. Like, I'm hearing you shall not pass, like Gandalf to the Balrog. You shall not pass, little mini man here. You cannot come into this energy anymore, into the mind of Cancer. You are not welcome, because Cancer has realized that you're there, and now they've barred the door so that you can't come any closer. You can't bring all your little friends in here, little parasite type energy coming in to wreck up the place. Like, no, this is my sacred space. This is my beautiful home. I've worked so hard and disciplined myself to get here. I'm going to enjoy that, and I'm not going to let anybody come in who's going to wreck that up. So very, very strong boundaries here. And I'm hearing the word nurturing. It's like mother bear energy. It's very nurturing, but it's fierce and protective when it needs to be. Why? Because love dictates that that is so. When you love something so fiercely, you are going to protect it. So if you love your mental peace, you need to be fierce with your protection of it. 10 of Pentacles. And this is what results. 2 10s, 10, 10. I'm hearing doorways, pathways, and openings. 10 of Pentacles is the richness of life that carries forth into infinity. It's the legacy card, basically. But I'm getting this energy that's very dramatic and almost kind of like theatrical or Shakespearean. It's like prose and poetry and beauty and form and all of these different kind of like deep emotional experiences of life, and exploring those in a way that is both sometimes comedic and sometimes a bit tragic, but it allows you to understand things from this deeper level, and there's richness in that. A deep, deep sense of richness here. And I also just wanted to say that I feel like you've got a good nose for this. I'm being shown the wolves here, or the dogs in the moon card sniffing something out. And I was also seeing a reference to the little mouse or the rat here sniffing with its little nose. I was seeing its whiskers like sort of vibrating as it's sniffing. So there's something that you're able to sniff out here. The Emperor. Oh, and I heard true masculine when this energy came out, when this card came out. And it kind of, it shifted this 10 of Cups. So true masculine energy is not going to throw off the balance of this sacred, stable home. True masculine energy is going to protect that. So this could be about working with your light side, empowered side of your masculine energy. And we all have masculine and feminine polarity, yin and yang within us. And this one feels like distorted masculine energy, shadow masculine energy, wounded masculine energy. This one feels like righteous, empowered, free masculine energy that is able to do its duty, its job, its service through the energy of love in the form of protection. I heard wise guy, and I'm seeing like a 1930s or 40s person going like, "Wow, what do you think, you're a wise guy?" That's so funny. The Star. I'm having fun in your energy, Cancer. I've got to say, my readings are often very serious, and this one feels kind of like not that. Despite the fact that there's some intense energy that is here. You've got the 5 of Swords. Again, it's like it's not an easy energy to deal with, but I think maybe having a sense of humor about it is going to lessen some of the severity. It's like a way of minimizing it. Another sort of example that's coming to mind is the Boggarts in Harry Potter. It's like being able to use that spell of ridiculousness on them to get them to have less power over you. Okay, and then we have the Empress. Well, I love that you have the Emperor and the Empress here, and the Empress is coming out underneath the Moon card. So it feels like there's this divine, sacred, feminine energy. Again, it's like you're sensing something, you're feeling something, you're able to sniff it out. Something about the physical reality is coming through as well, like this grounded, practical side where the intuition becomes form. I'm hearing, oh, okay. Where the intuition becomes form. And I'm seeing the sign of Venus here. And I'm hearing the word prosperity. Yeah, definitely prosperity here. That's so clear. And I'm hearing physical form, physical form, physical form. Now, I want to talk about this Hierophant in reverse under the King of Pentacles reverse, because I feel like this is how you treat this. It's like this is the wound, this is the salve or the treatment to heal it. And what it is unlearning. It's unlearning something that you were taught, that you absorbed through osmosis, because your Cancerian energy here, wherever it is in your chart personally, it's very absorbing. It's like, SpongeBob SquarePants. It's going to take in all of the energy, and it's up to you to wring that out, because there's something in this energy that you absorbed from someone else. It was like a thought that was implanted in your mind, or a seed from someone that ended up just like, again, like a fungus. It just started proliferating like that. And you have to weed the garden. You have to unlearn. You have to take that seed out. You have to remove the fungus, do like a detox or a cleansing or a clearing, so that can't continue to take up space. And more importantly than space, it can't continue to take up your energetic resources, because those are going to be much better served in the production and maintenance and protection of this level of wealth, security, and stability. And it's coming through very intuitively. It's like it's a divine messenger that's meant to move through you out into the world and become a real lived experience. But you have to kind of undo some things that were done over here. Now, this 5 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, I'm actually hearing the word completion, which, the 10 energies about completion. You've got 3 of those. So this is like a rolling over. I'm seeing an odometer in a car, and it's like it rolls over to 0 again, the trip odometer. It's like you completed that trip and now it's rolling over back to 0. There's a sort of like a reset here, a refresh. But this 5 of Swords feels familiar to me, but distant. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I know him, but I don't know him. Or like I know him, but I can't see his face. It's like, when you see someone at a distance and you're like, is that so-and-so? I can't tell. It kind of moves like them, but I'm not sure. And then you get closer and closer and closer, and you realize it either is them or it isn't. So this could be somebody from your past that made you feel like this. This could be somebody who lives, again, I'm getting that message, living rent-free in your head. It's like somebody who said something or disagreed with you, or I'm hearing the word complaint. Like there was some kind of a complaint and it just kind of stuck. It got stuck in your brain. It got stuck in your mind, and it started to take up space. Actually, I want to go in with the Rose deck. So what are you supposed to know about this person? I heard pay them no mind and no regard. It's pay them no mind. So it's like don't give them energy, but don't ignore them. Okay. The sage wisdom from the Hierophant in regard to unlearning and the giver. Okay, so this is about you knowing what you've been given. Because sometimes, we're given things that we don't want. And if we take them in because we are just naturally going to absorb everything, this feels like a message about discernment, about discerning what it is that you're taking in. I think that came up in the last Cancer reading that I did as well in October. And these are not timed readings. I do them each month, or I'm going to be doing them each month, but they are timeless in the sense that it's whenever you find this message that it's meant for you. And you can come back to it, and you can replay it, or you can write it down and see what it means for you. Journey to wholeness. And I keep hearing journey complete. So there's some level of this journey to wholeness that's being completed in some way. Yeah, I'm hearing an arm and a leg. It's like that self-sabotage really cost you an arm and a leg here at Cancer. But on some level, at the time you're finding this reading, because I was just talking about timing, an energetic, like the energetic stamp of your energy connected to this reading at the time that you find it is significant. It's saying that this journey is over. The journey of all of this distortion and what it was teaching you is over. Harmonic flight. We did have that 2 of Cups energy peek out temporarily. So I feel like there's a communication barrier that is, I'm hearing, okay, hold on. I was going to say breaking down, but then I heard grinding to a halt. Oh, and I'm being shown that the wall is an illusion. So if there was a communication barrier between you and someone else, or your inner feminine and your inner masculine, like getting those two on the same page here, I'm seeing like a brick wall that looks solid, but if you touch it, you go right through it. Kind of like platform 9 3/4 from Harry Potter. Another Harry Potter reference coming up. So it feels like there's magic here. But you needed to figure out what the right energy was to put towards that. On the bottom, we have Soul Star Chakra, merging with the divine. Merging with the divine. And let's get some animals as well, or at least one animal. Yeah, I'm hearing communication barrier breakdowns. It's like the barrier in communication is what is crumbling at this time. It's going to make everything easier. Maybe it's even the barrier between your conscious and subconscious mind. And it's like with that barrier coming down, you can much better see, feel, touch, connect to, and understand what's been going on below the surface. On the bottom, we have Pisces. Fish. But immediately Pisces wanted to come out in connection to this energy. So Moon card is actually technically Pisces in the tarot, but in astrology, it's Cancer. I feel weirdly like a sense of deja vu, like I said that in the last Cancer reading that I did. Pretty sure I did. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it. It was like a few weeks ago, but if you watched it, tell me if I said that, because I feel like I did. I think that card came out and I had the exact same exchange with it. That is so funny. And I'm hearing history doesn't need to repeat itself unless it's meant to. And then we have the oyster here. I'm hearing in for a surprise. You're in for a surprise. There's something here. It's like this irritation got into the shell, right? But as a parasite breaks through the shell of the oyster, it's not always a grain of sand. Sometimes it's a parasite. It gets in there, and that protective mechanism, like this mother bear energy, goes in and is immediately like, there's an irritant in here. Let's address it. We're not focusing on it and blowing it up bigger, nor are we ignoring it and letting it proliferate and cause damage. What we're doing is getting right in there, addressing it, covering it in that substance that the oyster does, and creating this beautiful pearl of wisdom. Who has the pearl of wisdom? The sage. The sage. I just heard marry him. That is so random. Not going to address that directly. I'm just going to keep going. We have the camel. We have the camel. I feel like you have had difficulty with your resources financially. And I think that this was stemming from an emotional wound. Because you know that myth of the water in the camel's back? It's not actually true. It's more like fat storage, but it's an intentional fat storage. Oh, you know what's so funny is that I'm seeing a little, like, you know, the spare tire around the stomach that some women get. It's from menopause or like just from eating food or whatever. I'm seeing this represented in a cute or beautiful way. Maybe it's meant to represent motherhood, but it's kind of like cute fat. And I actually heard the word aegyosal last night before I was going to bed, and I looked it up, and it's like this little pocket of fat under the eye that's very popular in Korea. And it's like people actually get surgery to get that look where, and the word aegyosal translates to like cute fat. So there's something about fat storage that's actually helpful here, or it's cute. Maybe there's a reframe in perception around body image connected to this as well somehow. I'm hearing something about Athenian era, and I'm being shown, you know, like sculptures of the Venus, and they're usually like very curvaceous. There's like a bit of a belly. That was seen as a sign of prosperity and wealth. So it could just be representative of that, this level of prosperity and wealth, like you're able to eat well. And I'm hearing, I'm going to eat good tonight, which is not proper grammar, but yeah, you're going to eat well. And then the black egg. And I'm hearing you've got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. And I'm seeing this giant black egg being cracked open and making like the tastiest omelet you've ever had in your life. I do want to read this one from the book, so we'll get that. But let's see what else we have here. The gazelle. I'm hearing jumping into new circumstances. I kind of want to read that one too. I don't think I've ever actually read from the book on the gazelle. So let's do the black egg and we'll go from there. Okay. Speaking from an authentic voice and the truth. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. And I'm not going to edit out the fact that sometimes when I'm reading from these and I stumble a bit, I'll edit it out and just jump right to so it's clear. I'm not going to edit out that because that was intentional. As you can see, the next line that I stumbled over was, when this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in. Books draw us in. The concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment, in every situation. It's the epicenter of the truth, the birthplace of the voice. And I've been seeing patterns of this last night leading up to this reading. So, of course, this connects to the throat chakra, the fifth chakra. Subtle essence of this card resides at the base of the throat at Visuddha chakra. The ancient sages, and there's the word sage again, the ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. Visuddha translates as especially pure. The balance of this center is important for us all, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. And I'm again seeing this like barrier of communication or the breakdown in communication being resolved. So there's definitely something about that that's opening up for you. Yeah, I'm getting something about false communication from the past. Okay, let me find the gazelle. Heightened awareness, ability, and vulnerable. I don't know why I'm getting some resistance to this. Hold on, maybe this is where the resistance is. We need to pay attention to this. Okay. The gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering on hyper-vigilant. That's what this is. Because didn't I hear something about hyper-realized? I'm hearing hyper-realized now, but I meant to say hyper-reality or hyper... I'm seeing hypervision now. Oh my God, it's just hyperactive. Hypervigilance, the nervous system not being settled. It's really difficult to create prosperity when the nervous system is dysregulated like that or in a chaotic state because of what's going on in the mind. I keep hearing unlearning it, okay? Let's see. And this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. Oh my God. You know what the Nine of Pentacles is literally about? Enjoying the beauty that she's cultivated. That's why it's a beautiful woman standing in a garden that she created. The hawk represents the discipline and the foresight, the bigger picture vision that she had for this garden that she created, for this beauty. I'm having a hard time with this energy now all of a sudden. This feels like it's where the block was. It is where the block was, okay? I randomly just heard bloc québécois. It's a French-Canadian thing. Anyway. No more worrying about all those predators out there in the wild. When this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. Let it nourish your gentle spirit. When in balance, gazelle is graceful, perceptive, and artistic. When out of balance, it can manifest as food allergies, insomnia, or a racing mind. Okay. Yeah. Something about jumping to false conclusions I just heard, and like that predator mindset. It's like, it's almost like anxiety, you know, where you're hypervigilant, you feel like there's an attack coming. But I remember when I was in therapy years ago, we did EMDR to help mitigate some of this. And I've done a lot of subconscious reprogramming as well. And it has definitely worked, so I recommend it. But I remember him saying, your nervous system is reacting like there's a lion in the room. There's no lion in the room, Siobhan. And I kind of had to sit with that. And I tested that out many times when my nervous system was reacting. I would have to kind of like, not second guess my reality, but more so like look at the actual reality instead of the reality my nervous system was telling me. Because my nervous system was reacting to old threats that were no longer present. So I would have to kind of ground myself in reality again, either doing box breath, 4 count in breath, 4 count hold, 4 count out breath, 4 count hold, to reset the vagus nerve and calm the nervous system down. Or I would look at, more like or, because it's multiple things in your tool belt to calm down a panic attack or an anxiety attack is very helpful. And I would look around the room and I would tell myself, I am safe, because look, there's evidence that I'm safe. There's nothing here. And if it's an existential threat, like paying the bills or something like that, or miscommunication in a relationship, I would tell myself, there's nothing I can physically do about that right this second, unless there is, and then I will. But I can't do it when I'm hyperactive or my nervous system is responding in this way and I'm dysregulated. So there's literally nothing I can do about that right now. That's okay. Let's just let it be. Let's just sit with it. Let's just calm down. To bring into balance, yin yoga, a cozy home, and good food. And I did say that. It's like, you're going to eat good tonight. Good food, restful state, like rest and digest in this beautiful home energy of the 10 of Cups. That's what's going to lead to prosperity. And I'm hearing something about a hernia. Like, don't overexert yourself. The stomach, the hernia energy is in the stomach area. Digesting food is in the stomach area. So this could be solar plexus chakra related as well, like your sense of confidence, self-esteem, self-trust. The ego is also ruled there. Your ability to not doubt your own actions and intuition, your gut instinct. I could go on, but I won't, because I feel like this diatribe isn't necessary. I feel like for most of you, you already know most of this or all of this. And what you're just supposed to be focusing on now is this journey to wholeness. So protect that fiercely, be gentle with yourself, trust in your own ability to handle and to nurture what needs to be, and to remove what does not need to be. I think that's it, but before we go, we'll do the astro dice as well, just to close things out. Yeah, okay. Jupiter in Pisces in the second house. This is what I was actually getting the vibes of. I was getting second house energy. I should have probably just said it, but it was reminding me of that because the second house rules what we value. Our physical values. It's how we earn money. It's how we value ourselves. It's how we value things in the world around us. Little pleasures that we get from that. And I'm seeing that egg omelet again. Pisces, I mentioned as well, and here we have it again. So it's like deep diving into this subconscious territory, astral realm, dream state type of stuff, understanding the way that your subconscious mind works is going to be very helpful in creating prosperity, because I'm seeing the loaves and fishes now, and it's like it's going to multiply. It's like you might start out with 2 of this and 3 of that, and you're going to multiply it so much more. There's a lot of value here, and that's what Jupiter speaks about as well. It's multiplication. And I'm hearing the word training. Jupiter does have to do with knowledge, wisdom, philosophy, because it's associated with 9th house. Okay, so it's also about expansion. It like makes things bigger, and it's the great benefic. So it does bless you. So your second house is going to be blessed here as you do some of this, I guess, shadow work. But it's much more like an emotional, it is shadow work, but it's an emotional deep dive into some of these incoherent patterns in the brain that have been stopping up the connection between your inner masculine feminine and the security that you're looking for in the external world with finances, emotions, and partnerships. I'm going to leave the message there. I hope this was helpful, Cancer. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. As always, stick around for more zodiac sign readings coming up. I'm also doing collective readings, and pick-a-cards are still going to be a mainstay on the channel. Thank you to the members for providing a stable base for me to continue to thrive and build on here online. Your memberships really do mean the world to me. I love interacting with you there. I love your feedback and getting to know you and your story and how the energy reflects in the readings that we do together. And thank you to the Soul Family tier members as well. I love connecting with you on the live streams and for your topic suggestions for the members only readings. I love you guys so much. And if you want to join and become a member, you can hit the join button, or there's links in the description to walk you through that process. If you're looking for a personal reading with me, I'm currently temporarily offering both these style personal, not these style, but like top-down personal tarot and oracle readings, as well as remote distance Reiki, energy healing channeled message readings, where I do like clairvoyant style Reiki. So I transmit energy and I channel and speak and show you what I'm seeing and what's going on in your energy body. Information about that is in the description box below as well. Not sure how much I'll be keeping that open. Thank you to everyone who has ordered so far. And thank you for your patience with the turnaround on those readings, because I have to fit them into my schedule, my energy capacity, and divine timing is always at play. But yeah, I thank you guys so much. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.